Hope I got this set up right. Good evening, MGTOW. Good evening, men. It's Muslim MGTOW. And today we're going to be looking at this information by, I can't remember the guy's name, Billy something, on the channel Blue Collar Logic. Basically, I just see videos online when I get triggered, oh, I'm triggered. But when I get triggered, I say, all right, look, I need to get up on there and say something about this. And, the guy, he raises some decent points, but, the problem I find with most of these men who try to educate MGTOW on the holes in our argument don't really understand men. They are still simping and being sympathetic towards women, and we're gonna explore that right now. So without any further ado, let's get into his video.
My partner Jason and I weigh in on issues from a conservative libertarian angle. We started on Facebook, but a video I made called #HeToo inspired a firestorm of hate from feminists. My partner Jason and I...
Sorry, I was just trying to go back to his name.
Hey MGTOW guys, my name's Dave Morrison.
Dave Morrison, okay.
Called #HeToo inspired a firestorm of hate from feminist groups. Facebook responded by changing the settings of our 8,000 followers so that they were no longer notified when we posted. And that killed our Facebook channel. That video was in no way anti-feminist. It was just honest.
No,
everybody was talking about
here's the wine.
By men. So I talked about how men are hurt and damaged by women. Of course I was silenced in the paid shadow ban. But YouTube is primarily a male channel. So when we moved over here and reposted that video, it got 320,000 views and almost no blowback. My 9-part series, Taking Down Modern Feminism, also did pretty well. Why do I tell you this? Because I want you to know that I understand your position and that I don't dismiss you in any way, especially not in the way that Jordan Peterson did.
Okay, all right, yeah, whatever. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Pathetic weasel. That's the same statement.
He did apologize for
I'm not asking you for that. I want to hear your...
bruised. I've had all of them. Because he's been wounded and is open enough to invitation for me to join up. Sometimes it was just a single word in caps. MGTOW. One of these fellows found me on Facebook and we become friends. Seeing how his mind works for a couple of years has provided me with a decent picture of a MGTOW guy. He's smart, articulate, capable, a little bit of a tech nerd, and in my view, the kind of guy a lot of women would love to pair up with. But we'll come back to Paul. Most of what I know about MGTOW has come from a number of videos I've viewed, and from probably
what he just said was a number of women would like to be with, but ain't nobody with him. Why is that? Well, primarily because it's on Trish to be MGTOW, but because these women don't really want him. They want a criminal.
I assume that its usage in and around MGTOW connotes a general awakening from society's illusions. If I mix all this together, I come out with a strong impression that MGTOW is largely a reaction to late model versions of feminism and the general tendency of the left to dismiss masculinity.
Right.
MGTOW also seems to reject traditional female roles. Still, I'm assuming that most of you are not voting Democrats. The primary gripe seems to be that men are expected to live in service to women. We could debate whether or not society favors women, but there's no doubt that government does. Courts are government, and they do tend to punish the male half of any dispute between a man and a woman, whether that be divorce, child custody and support, or something as hopefully rare as a sexual assault charge. During the Me Too panic in the Kavanaugh hearings, we were told in no uncertain terms that women must be believed, period. That if a man is accused by a woman, he is guilty. If that's not a full-blown descent into madness, I don't know what is.
Which is true. This is why most of us are MGTOW men today.
A man and a woman have sex, both drunk as hell. And later on, she decides that it was rape because she was impaired. So her irresponsible drinking absolves her of culpability, while his drunkenness increases his culpability. Her consent is negated by the drinking, while the man's consent is transformed into predation. Will we now apply this double standard to drunk driving? I hope not. As you can see, I live in a motorhome in a Living this way is a money-saving strategy partially born out of the financial stress of a divorce I didn't want. My ex-wife and I are friends now.
I'm really hoping this guy gets to the point real quick.
I'd be lying if I told you I was crushed. The romance had gone out of the thing for both of us. But we both took a tremendous hit financially, and only one of us got to vote on that. We had 2 incomes going to pay for 1 house, 1 health insurance policy, 1 car insurance policy, a phone plan, a cable TV agreement, etc., etc. And because my ex no longer wanted to be married, we now had 2 of every bill, and no more money with which to pay for it all. I lost my marriage, my kids, my shop, and almost everything else I loved about my life at that time.
Yeah,
I had to send a chunk of my income to her.
So same story that happened to you. That happened to most
But
people.
let's be
We get it.
clear. We'd already both been effed over by a shitstorm of bad ideas. The romantic fairy tales we'd consumed as children. Consumerism's ubiquitous calls to buy more stuff. The self-centeredness of the new generation. And the entitlement thinking of modern feminism. The troubles all sprung from a deep misunderstanding of what men and women are and how best we can work together.
Okay.
Here's a quick story to illustrate that. My ex put on weight during both of her pregnancies, and that weight never really came off. As a result, she didn't trigger my male desire like she once had. Once a year I would say, look, I want you to be my sweetheart. I want to focus on you and the kids. But I have to be able to look at you and feel lucky to be married to you. Come on, just meet me halfway. Her answer was always the same.
What's that?
What I look like shouldn't matter to you.
Oh, okay, good.
This is
so how about your big shit back
to you? It's ripped out of our culture by the roots. The understanding
but see,
that men and
now, all right, see, there's my problem right there.
Particularly when it comes to how one relates to the other. Men were now.
My problem with most men is we hear women say that line or lines like that, and then we freeze the fuck up. You know, we don't right then and there take off what we offer off the table because we're so afraid to lose our women, you know. And this is why being a MGTOW is great because you don't care if you lose that bitch. You tell her straight up, well, you know, because I mean we're still men and we still like fucking a lot of us. So at that point, a bitch tell you, "Oh, well, what I look like shouldn't matter." Well, then, okay, well, what I got in my wallet shouldn't matter to you. How I look shouldn't matter. You know, what the hell type of shit is that to say to a man that what I look like should not matter when she's got all of this whole fucking list of demands and you got 3. Look good, fuck me here and there, and don't be annoying.
Expected to imitate women while still fixing things and lifting heavy objects. The real women would let us know if and when our sexual services were needed. And in the meantime, we owed it to them to hide our own feelings and pack up and leave when we weren't needed any longer. But keep the checks coming, okay?
Right. I agree.
Oh, I get it all right. But let's not pretend that my ex was not vulnerable to me deciding to split and leave her with all the debt and all the child-rearing expenses. To be completely honest, my wife could have chosen to marry a guy with a lot more money than I. And if I'd been a better earner...
The thing about that is, most often, you know, men operate on an honor system, mostly. So, you know, I tell women all the time, you know, when they start talking about these men who left them, I'm like, well, wait a minute now. Was he going into this baby enthusiastically with you? Because if you decided to have this baby without him, then, you know, you can't be mad at him for not deciding, hey, I'm going to pick up the responsibility of this fucking child. Because, you know, that don't make no sense. You know, I was talking to a woman at college the other day. She was like, well, why didn't he pull out or wrap it up? Or maybe he did. But condoms break. He could have pulled out, but prenup, you know, pre-ejaculation, that shit happens. So yeah, I mean, if a guy comes into encounter with a woman and all he wants from it is a sexual thing, I mean, it's not up to you to now make sure, we're talking about women now, to make sure that he now has a bill from it. Like, why wouldn't you decide to take a day after pill? You know, why wouldn't you take something that stops this baby from happening, especially with a guy who ain't really trying to take care of it? That's where I'm at with that. But, okay, we continue with this guy. He didn't get to the points I really disagree with yet.
So I wasn't exactly hitting high marks either. This is where we get real. I stand in opposition to all denial of human nature, male or female. So when I was recently on a thread with Paul about his MGTOW buddies, and they protested the prerogative of women to be pursued, I saw a mirror version of my ex-wife's inability to understand male arousal. Why do we have to give chase? Why do they always get to decide what happens? It's not fair. Right. It's not fair. And why do birds get to fly while we have to walk?
Right.
A big part of growing up is to see the world as it is. That's what being a MGTOW is about.
Seeing the world as it is.
A woman is typically smaller, weaker, slower, and more easily injured than a man. She lives every day with a vulnerability that we can only imagine.
I understand that.
You and I have been punched in the face and beaten up a few times.
Gotcha.
That happens to boys growing up.
Gotcha.
But even at my age, I can walk through a parking garage at 1 a.m. and not be afraid.
Here it is.
If there are a couple of young dudes leaning on a car near mine, I can always just say, "What happened? Did it throw you guys out of the saloon again?" Or some other masculinity-affirming joke. I almost never feel like I might get...
Now, see, my friend, that's just a product of being in America. You know, almost ever feel like you'll be assaulted. Now, women, on the other hand, women's go walking around feeling like they're always going to be assaulted. But the truth of the matter is that men are more assaulted. And this goes back to what I was saying about the honor system earlier. Men have this honor system, which is why men attack other men, because we feel dishonorable if we attack a woman and steal from women. That's why they're the least victims of crimes. And with sexual assault, men are just as much victims of sexual assault as women. So he's going to bring that up soon. So
rolled, and I never feel like I might be abducted, gang raped, and murdered. Never, ever, ever. But a woman has to consider that possibility frequently. She also has to consider the possibility that she'll become bonded to a scoundrel who will bolt when she's had their third kid and she begins to lose her looks. When a woman plays hard to get, she's putting the onus on you, no doubt. But put yourself in her place. Consider what she has to lose if she bets on the wrong guy. If you show your interest and begin to court her, you are being tested. I hate being tested.
The problem with what you're saying about imagine what women have to lose if they bet on the wrong guy is that they often do bet on the wrong guy. And there's plenty of guys who out there who could vouch for being the best friend of some girl that he was in love with, and he may have been secret about it, and he may have opened to her about it, and either way, she did not choose him. She kept choosing the not good guy, and she would have one or two or three or like 3 different guys. So to sit up here and try to say, imagine what she has to lose in this. Well, we see it. We see the results of it right now, because they are all choosing. I mean, now you don't see it with every race that they're choosing to have kids with a bunch of people. You see it mainly with black women. That's mainly black women and Hispanic women, Latina, Native Americans, probably, poorer communities, but and single mother communities, but yeah. Other than that, I can't think of anything right now. But let this guy.
I know you do. Suck it up. Why would a woman want to tie her fate to yours if you can't handle the challenge of taking her out on a half dozen dates before you make your move? Really? That's too much for you? But why should the man have to pay?
No.
Resources.
Well, here's the thing, my friend. Yes, that is. You said why? You said half dozen dates. Okay. All right. Let's do that math. Half dozen dates. Okay. Usually, if you're the average guy, which you're under an 8, so your looks are 7 and down, you are practically invisible to women. So, with that being the case, that's 7 out of 10 guys who are practically invisible to women. So, he's taking out, and even if he does have good money, it gets quite annoying to go on a half a dozen dates, as you say. Say, because you're an average guy, average looking guy, and your money is average, you say you work at Shop or something like that, at the grocery store, you're a bagger or some shit like that. She's the woman. She's not gonna look at you with no high esteem and high regard. So when you go on a date, to only 6 dates with her, you might not ever get to sleep with her. And I'm not saying just sleeping with her is the do all be all, but there's a few guys out there who are a thug. He got a tattoo of a snake and a skull, right here. Big old brolic looking dude. This nigga been in and out of jail, and he's the guy who's pounding the girl that you're trying to court for half a dozen dates. And after you realize you've done this same dance with 6 girls, that's 36 dates right there. 6 times 6, that's 36. You've done this with 6 girls so far, and let's say you just paid $6 each date. No, I'm sorry. No, you're not gonna pay $6 to take a bitch out. No, these bitches nowadays, you need to be at least $60 just for your ticket. So, let's go with something conservative, like $30. $30 for you, $30 for them. So I said, so that's $60 altogether. So $60 times 6, that's $360 times 6. So that's times 2. That's 720. 720 plus 720. That's 1440. Is that 6, right? No, yeah, but I did too many. Yeah, 720, 720, 1440, 720. That's 2160. So that's $2,160 that you spent. Now that could be, let's say, spent out in, say, 2 months. Why the hell should men have to spend $2,000 every 2 months on dating women? Because, by the 6th date, if you ain't getting nowhere, all right, I'm done with that. You on to the next. So why should men have to spend that kind of money on dating just to take a woman out so she can get a free meal on a daily basis? And then we have to go to work the next day and see these same women at work, and they telling me that they're my equal, while at work, every time they need a box up here or something heavy or whatever, they always calling me to come help them. But let's continue.
Brother, if a woman is expected at some point to give you exclusive access to her, then knowing something about your financial health is a reasonable part of her equation. She's trying to select the best guy that she can get.
The person exclusive access to something that she's already gave exclusive access to a bunch of people already is not really that special.
She's testing your wallet, your generosity, and your protective instinct. Also, she's testing your understanding that males and females have different roles. Her letting you pick up the tab is her allowing you to show your stuff. I mean, why else do we work so hard if not?
So women are trying to make men understand that men and women have different roles. He just validated a point that MGTOW say a lot, and that is that feminism is a giant shit test, because it is. This whole thing is a shit test to see if men are gonna have the balls to tell women, no, you can't have what we have. No, you can't be in the same position that we're in. And I think it needs to be done soon.
To get the best women. Here's where we get really real. The women you are mad at are the prime specimens. You all know half a dozen less glamorous women who would be thrilled to go to a movie with you. Very happy to hang out with you whenever and wherever. But you don't want those women, do you? You want the little chick with the hot body and the bubbly personality who can light up a room with her smile. You want the girl who would change your life. The one that would instantly bump your own status up by a few notches, just to be seen with her. People would stare and wonder what kind of mojo you have that you could possibly land a babe like that. These are the women you're mad at. You're mad at them for using you, but you're also mad at them for not letting you use them. The desirability that they possess and won't share.
Okay, so let's go to the point of. Let me rewind that a little bit.
Would instantly bump your own. The little chick, dozen less glamorous women who would be thrilled to go to a movie with you.
Okay, now he said there's a dozen less glamorous women that would be thrilled to go to a movie with me. Here's the thing, buddy. What's his name? Dave or whatever the fuck he said his name was. I have gone for those less glamorous women, and I'm sure many of these men who are going to be watching this video, who are watching your video, have gone for less glamorous women. I've definitely gone for a glamorous girl. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like I haven't gone for a glamorous girl. But I didn't get mad when I didn't get the glamorous girl, because I always thought she was out of my league from the beginning. My problem came when I was talking to the girls that I felt like were my own level, and then I come to realize later on, when I look at myself in the mirror again and get a clearer view of myself, I'm like, damn, I'm actually better than them bitches, right? But I thought of myself at the time as less than them, okay? I mean, one of my friends back in high school, her name was Christina, and me and her had the same last name, and we called each other cousins and all this other shit, but I had a big-ass crush on Christina. Christina was not that fucking cute. That bitch looked like a train wreck, honestly. And then, honestly, I seen her later on, and she's as big as a fucking house. Okay? I just liked her personality. And she wouldn't have raised my status to be with her. It wouldn't have raised my status at all to be with that girl. I just liked being with her. And that's all that mattered to me. And that's all that mattered to a lot of guys who were MGTOW. And she fucked with this guy and that guy. One guy, his last name was Ramjeet. Okay. And he was like 25 and she was like 15. Okay. So, people, she was 15, he was 25. She wanted this older bad boy. He had a motorcycle, yada, yada, yada. He could take her up to New York and all this other horse shit. So, and I was like, damn, for real? She just kept me in the friend zone all the years. And then after school let out, I hit her up after school. I had her number all these years. And I hit her up in school and all that. All these years. After school let out, I hit her up. Never get in touch with her ever again after that. Never again. And that's not the only story I have like that. There's plenty of stories like that I have during that same time period. My best friend Antiqua. At the time, she was my best friend. She's not any longer. I don't talk to her. But, yeah, man. So, yeah, so let me get back to let me let this guy finish his last point so I can wrap this up.
Very happy to hang out with you whenever and wherever.
Yeah, right.
But
you sound like
want
old
those
fry.
women, do you? You want the little chick with the hot body and the bubbly personality who can light up a room with her smile.
Of course.
You want the girl.
Of course I just want to fuck that girl.
The one that would instantly bump your own status up by a few notches, just to be seen with her. People would stare and wonder what kind of mojo you have that you could possibly land a babe like that. These are the women you're mad at. You're mad at them for using you, but you're also mad at them for not letting you use them. The desirability that they possess and won't share with you is the very requirement that you demand man from a woman in the first place. And since you haven't been able to land your dream girl, you've decided to take yourself off the game board. As I told Paul and his buddy, you cannot win if you do not play. You will say that you resent being forced to play games. I'll say that everything worth having has to be earned. And you'll say that your own individual growth is the only thing worth earning. And I will say, great, now just admit that you're still in the game. Because much of what you guys are doing is exactly the kind of thing that will make you more attractive to women. By declaring yourselves uninterested in them, you are making
that is true.
yourselves
MGTOW philosophy will make you definitely
Many of you
more
are hitting
attractive
the
to
gym,
women.
upping your earning power, and developing the discipline that you know will eventually make you magnetic. The discipline that will enable you to be clear-headed and confident in situations where all the other dudes are groveling at the feet of the local beauties. It's not a bad strategy, but be careful. It doesn't take too long to become rusty and awkward around females. They pick up on that like a Geiger counter. Self-mastery does imbue a man with a certain charisma, but the so-called stink of death can cancel that out. Let's you and I be honest with ourselves. Guys like us are probably not going to get girls from the A-list. A wise man once told me that my unhappiness lived in the gulf between my expectations and my results.
The thing about
to raise my performance while lowering my expectations, I could close the gap considerably.
The thing about the A-list for men is it's different for each one of us. You know, men's perspective on women is that we will take women in just about any shape and form we get them. Big girls need love too. Baby moms need love too. Is how men think. So
my advice to you is to widen the scope of what you find attractive. Turn off the free porn channels, or at least start to include less perfect women in your viewing. You can reset your erotic preferences quite a bit. If you like busty blondes, but the available women are skinny brunettes, work on eroticizing that type. Train yourself not to be too specific in your tastes. This is right up your alley.
I don't think any
the world
guy
is full of perfectly lovely women who are just not so
that
obviously
turned
hot.
off by a bitch's
Date
hair color.
those women. They have not always been the center of attention. Their expectations
Just the hair color is not that bad.
throwing themselves
Like, even the
feet.
bitch who put their
Look,
shit
I
blue or
dig a
some shit.
bombshell as much as the next guy, but I've
Pink
learned
or
to
some
appreciate
shit, some
many
feminist
forms
color.
of beauty, and
I don't think that would be a big
sixes
deal.
and
Now, if she
sevens
had
usually
that
get a lot
and a
more
bunch of
women
tattoos, okay, I'll be
personalities than the
fucking
tens.
a little upset.
They've been through rejections just like we have. They get it. They know how that feels. Look, stop resenting every woman for the actions of the few out there who really are manipulative gold diggers. It's not accurate, and it's not fair. It's the same thing that women are doing who assume that all men are predators and all masculinity is toxic. So no, I'm not about to stop playing the mating game at whatever level I'm still allowed into it. A world without women is, to me, not one even worth visiting. All of the self-improvement in the world rings hollow without the respect and admiration of people who know you intimately. And there are ways that only a woman can bond with a man. There are also ways that only a woman can help a man become his best. Because their minds are different from ours, we need their input in order to reach a balanced sort of wisdom, just as they need our input.
So wait a minute. So you're saying two gay men can't know each other that well? Two gay women can't know each other that well? You know? And on that note, I'm not gay, but because I'm straight, I can't get to know another male or female, you know, that well without having to look at their body. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying the only way you can really get to know somebody is if you're fucking them? If that's the case, I mean, you must not know any of your friends. I just want to put that out there.
Surround
I
yourself
don't know
with
what you're
people
doing.
who share your interests and your values, both men and women. And stop with this blanket rejection of all male-female relationships. You're on the right track in so many ways. Don't blow it by coming off as paranoid and defensive. All right then, I wish you well. Please share this video with any for whom you think it might be helpful, and leave a comment down below. Now, let's hear Dr. Peterson's heartfelt apology. Sort of.
I just want to say, man, this guy did bring up some really good points. And I did enjoy the video ultimately. I saw those really neat things at the end of his speech, where he was saying things like, guys, who were MGTOW wouldn't talk to some of the fat fuglies. And it's like, no, we would talk to some of the fat fuglies, actually. And even them, you could go on your Facebook or your Twitter or your MySpace. But if you even, when MySpace was a thing, Plenty of Fish, Tinders, and whatever would have you. You could find plenty of pages where women are saying, I don't date guys without this, must be this tall, must be that, must make this much, So, I mean, and that's just fat women, fat, ugly women with kids. Okay? Thinking that they could come like a bitch who is a dime. Like I'm perfection here. You can't have none of this unless you got this in order. That's it. Oh no, it's still going. Okay. So yeah, that's it for my. That was the I was scared. But yeah, so that's really it for me, man. Drop a like and subscribe, yada yada yada. The white noise of YouTube, everybody's saying it. But these MGTOW channels, we're not gonna get any traction unless you put a like and subscribe, because their algorithm is trying to phase out these channels, and my channel's not as active as I used to be. But I plan on getting back to being more active. I just calmed down a lot. I've calmed down a lot and become more reserved. My red pill rage phase is over. So, but thank you for listening, you guys. Have a great day. All right. Muslim MGTOW.